Is it tough to get much story done in 10 episodes? That obviously is the plan for next year as well, 10 episodes. Does that force you to sort of rush things, or?
No, I think actually it was kind of great in a way. It's like doing a mini-series. And I think we knew where we wanted to start, we knew we wanted to end. And so filling in all that was the fun of it, and exploring these characters. What's great about TNT, working with TNT, was the emphasis on character and on making sure that we could live with these people. And that's great. We got to slow the story down and really say, okay, what's going on with Tom right now? What's going on with Pope, with his sandwich? What's going on with everybody? It's great to be able to not have to be sort of headlong running all the time, and you can really live in these characters. But knowing you have an end point, then you can work toward that. I think it's great. I've done 22 episodes, and I know Noah has too. That's a lot of episodes.
Yeah. It's much better to work this way. First of all, not the least of which is it affords you a quality of life that you don't really get when you're working 70 to 80-hour weeks, 9 months a year. But you also don't know where you're going to finish up at the beginning of a network TV schedule. You do it usually in 7-episode blocks, 3 of them. So you know mini arcs, but you don't really know where you're going to end up. And having the ability to really craft out a whole season and know how to modulate that in terms of your performance and in terms of the relationships is really quite a luxury.
Also, I think in terms of the writing, people don't often really think about it, but to write an episode that has a beginning, a middle, and an end, and then next episode is a completely different middle, and it's not easy to do, but it's a lot easier than not doing that, and instead taking those and stretching it out over an entire season is not an easy thing to do. So I mean, I take my hat off to all these guys in terms of the writing team. They've just done an amazing job.
So let's go down the row real quick and hear sort of either your favorite scene, your favorite moment so far in the series. So go left to right. Colin, you want to start with you?
Yeah, I'd say right now, to be perfectly honest with you. What I think is kind of interesting or special about this particular screening, last night we did one over at the Paley Center. It was primarily, some fans of the show, which was exciting and wonderful. But for me, just as on a personal note, I can only assume that many of you out there are actors. So it's nice to sit in front of an audience of your peers, and the fact that you guys have shown up and found worth in what we've done as actors actually means a lot to me, because I've spent a lot of time in the audience asking questions or coming to certain panels and stuff like that. So
really,
yeah, it's the truth. So I remember when I first started out, acting here in Hollywood, or not acting here in Hollywood, I would literally, and I'm not an exaggeration, it's a true story. I used to go to the back of Ralph's or Safeway, and I would cut out 8x10 pieces of cardboard out of fruit boxes so my headshot wouldn't bend in the mail, and so
crazy.
And I always think, whenever a casting director or an agent would pull it out, it would have a dull pineapple in one hand and my headshot in the other. So for me, it really is. It's humbling and it's special, and just thanks for having us all today. Thank you.
No, but you really are super dedicated. And I remember when I worked with you and you had to shove me in the scene, and I think you took a little bit too many liberties there. But I forgive you.
He got a hold of my hair one time pretty hard.
I know, Pope's intense. So are we supposed to talk about our favorite scene in the...
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Or our favorite life moment that you're having right now? Because I don't have a lot. I don't have a lot to work with.
You could go with scene. We'll give Colin his,
And not to be
This
redundant,
moment.
because they all had to hear this last night, but I do have a favorite scene, and it was when Anne breaks down. There's all these pictures up of the kids that are missing, and my son is deceased, and I don't have anything. I wasn't able to keep anything, and I just feel like an awful mother. And my character is always just so selfless, and she's like the woman you want to be. It's never about her. It's not about what she's been through. It's always about everyone else, and she's so giving in that way. But the scene, she falls apart, and Noah was there, and my hand's bloody from killing a skitter, and I placed my hand up against a newspaper article that's on the wall, and you see the imprint. And Noah wrote a little note and said, "This is when Tom falls in love with Anne," and he left it in my trailer because it was very sweet. So that was a really nice moment. Yeah. So
It's a really good scene.
it was really intense, and it's intense because you're really crying, and I remember people coming up like, "Are you okay?" Because you you go through this thing, and you were really great and supportive.
I got chills when I read that scene when you put your hand there because that's all you had to offer. I got chills when you did it. And I did say that last night. That was one of my favorite scenes too. But I'm going to switch it up tonight.
It's okay, I forgive you.
Special answer for the SAG crowd.
I liked fighting the skitter in the tunnel. And I liked it especially because my 8-year-old son was on set that night, and we were shooting in this, asbestos-filled tunnel and God knows where. And he's sitting in my chair, and he's watching the monitor. And I'll take this memory to my grave because I'm wailing away on it. And I go over and I say, "What'd you think, Owen?" And he goes, "On the last take, you hit him 5 times. On this one, you hit him 6. 6 works better than 5. And I swear to God, he says, "But on the last hit, you're holding the gun up too high. It's not staying in the picture. If you hold it over your shoulder, it'll stay in the frame." And every head goes, "What?" And I went back to work, as I do.
I hear he's directing episode 2 next season.
Yeah, he's got a 3-picture deal with DreamWorks now. I can't get him on the phone.
Well, what I found pretty exciting being on an action show like this, doing the action was pretty incredible. The opening sequence of the pilot, we had all these cars flipped over and the buildings were burned, and we were about to shoot this the scene where we're running in, and basically everything around you is going to blow up. And they kind of tell us that, all right, this is going to blow up, that's going to blow up, this is what can go wrong. They tell you everything that can go wrong. So it's probably like 3 in the morning, maybe later, 4 in the morning. And we're about to do it. They've wet down the asphalt, and I'm pumped because I'm about to maybe die. And so I'm leading the group, and Noah's going to be behind me, and then we have the DP behind him, and we're going to call action. We only want to shoot this thing one time, so if we mess it up, it's somebody's fault. So you've got that in the back of your mind. And so we call action, and like I said, I was so pumped that I kind of slipped and fell, and then Noah falls on me, the cinematographer falls on him. They're saying, "Don't blow, don't blow, don't blow." So thank goodness nothing happened. I got a little scar from it. That's a kind of little keepsake.
Workman's comp.
There were so many good moments. But I think my favorite moment was pulling off the line, "Comfortable as a credit card." With Moon. When I was teaching Anne Glass how to shoot a gun, there were a few lines that were, oh no, they were just hard to deliver because Margaret was, she's so reserved, and it was the first opportunity to have her laugh and have a friendly moment. The first, genuine moment of connection with another woman, and that was great. It was fun to laugh, as Margaret.
And I believe, just to chime in, that we thought the joke was a little on the nose and just a little silly, so we started laughing, and then they kept that in the scene. Do you remember that? Like,
That's what. Thank you for saying that. I'm squirming because I'm right beside Mark. I'm like,
on the nose.
I mean,
It was on the nose, you said. Right?
But it was fun. It was.
it was really fun. It worked. You're a genius.
We can talk about her arc tomorrow for next season.
No!